Welcome to the final week of Managing the Academic Enterprise. Before you finish the course, we want you to have an opportunity to reflect on how the planning framework applies to your current challenges and opportunities. We also want you to have some time and structure to do some change management planning while having your peer community for support. In previous lessons, you learned about managing the academic enterprise framework and how you can start anywhere or go anywhere within this framework to impact student success. This framework not only contains focus areas that can be used as on-ramps to improve student success, it can also help institutions make fundamental changes in how business is conducted. We have found that institutions who take time to mobilize for change effectively are more successful in anchoring change within the campus culture. As an academic leader, one of the most difficult challenges faced is mobilizing and sustaining change. No matter which initiatives are launched or tools implemented, mobilizing and maintaining change in and of itself at times can feel like a full-time job. It's often made difficult because of an institution's change-adverse culture, the tendency to try to minimize disruption, complacency, or the interconnectedness of systems, policies, and processes. The key is to have a well thought out change management plan that guides the campus community on how to navigate and adapt to change. This lesson provides best practices on how to mobilize and sustain change at your institution. For some who are listening, this lesson may be a reminder of key change management concepts and ideas on how to move forward. Others may be hearing these concepts for the first time. In either case, the goal is that you gain insight into how best to mobilize and sustain change at your institution. So let's get started. Successfully mobilizing and implementing change necessitates effective change leadership. It requires bringing people together to help plan and execute change. Change can be challenging. It involves people, emotions, behaviors, cultures, systems, and processes, just to name a few. A former mentor and colleague once told me that one of the secrets to implementing change is to focus your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So as you move forward with implementing change, acknowledge the old ways of doing business and focus your energy and efforts on helping others shape the new. John Cotter, an international authority on leadership and change, has helped many organizations with change management. Since academic institutions are familiar with John Cotter's work, we included key aspects and quotes from his Accelerate Change Leadership framework in this lesson. There's also a leadership workbook included that is designed to help academic leaders begin planning for meaningful change at their institution. The first step in mobilizing for change is to identify the big opportunity, a top change priority at your institution that will help effectively and efficiently manage the academic enterprise. This big opportunity may encompass one or more of the areas of focus within the Managing the Academic Enterprise framework or another top change priority at your institution. As an example of a big opportunity, one of our institution partners was experiencing enrollment growth of 3% annually, which resulted in course scheduling difficulties for incoming students. The big opportunity identified was to maximize course availability and classroom utilization so new students could build schedules with minimal conflicts. One of the things we stress in our partnerships at Astra is to start with the why, the framework that Simon Sinek made popular. When taking bold action, leaders often jump into the how and what without first being grounded in the why or purpose behind what they're trying to accomplish. For most institutions, the purpose is deeply grounded in their mission. So make sure your big opportunity is grounded in your institution's mission. If your mission is to provide accessible, affordable, and quality education, you could ask how the institution's infrastructure, the various things that are done to manage the core academic enterprise, align with your why or purpose. In the previous example given, the big opportunity to maximize course availability and classroom utilization for new students contributes to the mission of the institution to provide accessible, affordable, and quality education. Once the opportunity is identified, it is important to establish and communicate a sense of urgency at your institution. Cotter suggests that you help others see the need for change through a bold, aspirational opportunity statement that communicates the importance of acting immediately. It is a good practice to communicate an opportunity statement so everyone understands the importance of the problem and that the appropriate action will be taken to resolve it. All stakeholders involved should understand the problem being solved and the need for change, and that change is critical. Be transparent and communicate why the change is necessary and who is impacted. It is also important that the institution's change initiatives underway be cared for and included in the communication strategy if needed. Again, your opportunity statement should be bold and aspirational, creating a sense of urgency. In our example, the institution's leadership created a sense of urgency by providing supporting data that clearly outlined the negative impact, that is, impeding timely degree progression and fewer credit hours enrolled. The next step is to form a guiding coalition, a team of campus stakeholders and influencers to help guide, coordinate, and communicate the opportunity and its activities. According to Cotter, without this guiding coalition, the organization will rely on traditional, hierarchical ways of operating, which will not serve it well over the long term. When forming the guiding coalition, it is important to identify a sponsor and change champions who can lead the effort. People who are highly credible and influential in the campus community and who can help drive change. The coalition membership can vary based on the opportunity and areas affected. The membership should include key stakeholders who understand the strategic direction of the institution and are responsible for or are impacted by the change. Naming the guiding coalition can also help communicate the opportunity and clarify its role on campus. In our example, the guiding coalition formed was named the Class Scheduling Task Force and chaired by an academic dean. The membership included experienced schedulers representing colleges across the institution that could help drive change. The guiding coalition, along with leadership, can now collaborate to create a strategic vision for change. When this vision is articulated effectively, stakeholders throughout the institution should understand what the opportunity is aiming to achieve and its connection to the institution's mission. Since the goal is to obtain stakeholder buy-in, the vision should be easy to communicate and strategically focused. Leaders should take every opportunity to discuss changes broadly, listening to any concerns or issues and integrating them into planning considerations. So the vision should motivate people to action, coordinate and align their action, clarify how the future will be different from the past and how that future will become a reality, and align directly to the institution's why or purpose. A vision statement for our example might be, our university is a caring campus. A caring campus requires that all faculty and staff be committed to student success and academic affairs core value. Having a course schedule that is aligned to students' needs is essential and fundamental to student success. The Class Scheduling Task Force will examine data to recommend and implement actions that will ensure our course schedule is meeting students' needs. Now that the strategic vision has been created and communicated, the next step is to get a large number of stakeholders to rally around the opportunity. These individuals will become your change champions and early adopters. They must be bought in and ready to help drive change. If you have been successful in articulating your vision broadly, you should have individuals who are excited about the change and are willing to join the effort. Don't lose sight of the role your guiding coalition can have on recruiting change champions and early adopters. Since these individuals are well connected, asking for their help in articulating the vision can get others excited about the change as well. Cotter states, history has demonstrated that it is possible to find many change agents, but only if people are given the choice and feel they truly have permission to step forward and act. So it is important to collaborate and listen to people's thoughts and ideas. An open dialogue can help you identify change agents as well as fine tune the vision and opportunity if needed. The next step is to recognize and resolve barriers that may hinder the change process from moving forward. Barriers can be identified through data analysis and broadly vetting the opportunity institution wide. They can surface at any time in the change process. When these barriers do surface, it's best to address them quickly. Two of the most common barriers to change are the misunderstanding of the vision and opportunity or siloed operations and ownership. In our example, the class scheduling task force concluded, based on data analysis, that current scheduling practices created conflicting scheduling patterns. After speaking with campus stakeholders, it became apparent that the ownership of classroom space was a contributing factor to the problem by reducing the number of classrooms available for scheduling. To help resolve this barrier, a smaller team from the class scheduling task force met with colleges and department chairs to talk through scheduling practices. The team provided a report on student demand by program and a heat map of each academic department's use of classroom space. This data-driven approach fostered open discussions with academic departments on the reassignment and sharing of classroom space, which increased the number of courses offered to meet student demand. Another key to mobilizing change is to identify, demonstrate, and communicate wins often. Showing visible and measurable improvements as a result of the changes and recognizing champions who are leading the effort. A win is anything big or small that helps you move toward your opportunity. They may take the shape of actions taken, a lesson learned, a process improved, or a new behavior demonstrated. An effective win is relevant, tangible, meaningful, and visible. So you want to collect and communicate wins often. It's the fun part of the process. In our example, the institution selected a few academic departments to pilot the proposed sharing of classroom space in an upcoming fall semester. These departments were successful in scheduling additional courses needed for incoming students. These early wins were communicated institution-wide and helped move the campus forward to full adoption. Now that you have successfully rolled out the opportunity and have gained substantial buy-in through early adopters and early wins, it's time to sustain acceleration. You can do this by revisiting the sense of urgency after a few short-term wins and asking these questions. Is the opportunity still relevant? And are we receiving the impact for the time and effort we expected? The answers to these questions will determine your next steps. If the answers are yes, you're ready to expand involvement and scale implementation. If the answers are no, take a strategic pause and learn from the experience. Take time to revise the opportunity, making it more workable and impactful. When the guiding coalition and stakeholders feel that the vision has been achieved, they should realize that the change is still temporary. The last step is to institute change broadly, making it stick. It's time to anchor new approaches in the culture by consistently identifying and articulating success. At this point, the institution should continue to monitor progress by being persistent in striving to repeat what has worked well and achieved results. Issuing a statement institution-wide about the success of the opportunity will ensure individuals are recognized for their efforts and the institution celebrates success. In our example, once the institution realized the wins of creating a more student-aligned course schedule, the changes were easy to sustain and the culture changed. The class scheduling task force continued to meet annually to review the allocation of space. Changes to the room assignments were made to meet program growth and shift in student course demands. Let's take time to review the 8 accelerators for change outlined in this lesson. 1. Creating a sense of urgency around a single big opportunity. 2. building a guiding coalition. 3, formulating a strategic vision. 4, communicating this strategic vision to create more buy-in and attract a volunteer army. 5, accelerating the movement by removing barriers. 6, celebrating short-term wins across campus. 7, sustaining acceleration by learning from the experience. And 8, institutionalizing strategic changes in culture. As we close this lesson, we hope you have gained insight into how best to mobilize and sustain change at your institution. Remember, the key is to have a well thought out change management plan that guides the campus community on how to navigate and adapt to change. Your next step toward this goal is to access the leadership workbook that is designed to help you begin planning for meaningful change at your institution. We at Astra are available to help you in managing the academic enterprise with the goal of improving student success.